Hello and welcome back, you beautiful, handsome, well-endowed, and very patient people. I'm very sorry for the extreme delay here. Besides the continuation of work driving me crazy, I have actually built a new PC, so that's taken up all of my free time.
Boss, retrieve the film canister our informant hid in Spookmate Keep before he died. It contains vital information on Skullface's plan. For now, our only clue is the garbled photograph the informant tried to send us before the end. We're working on analyzing the data, but there's no time to wait. A KGB Spetsnaz squad is after the target as well. Boss, go to Spookmate Keep and use the VI to lead you to where the film canister is hidden. It is paramount you retrieve the target before the enemy does.
So yeah, new PC. Moving the files on over is taking a while, and holy shit, I'm actually gonna use D-Walker for a change. Yeah, let's use him. Let's get him out of the closet. I don't think I've actually ever used him in a main mission, so we're gonna try him out. I got him equipped with you may notice his head is a little different than usual. It's got a ball. This lets him have a intercept mode where he will automatically engage hostiles in range. So I thought it'd be kind of like a neat way to drop him in one place while I attack from another direction. Unfortunately, there is some issues with this plan. First off, these Ruskies are really fucking good at shooting me. For another, D-Walker doesn't like go out. See right there, attack complete. He stays in one spot. So he's more of a turret than like an active attacker. I mean, I guess that makes sense with him being called intercept mode and not seek and destroy mode, but
Intercept mode.
I kind of thought I expected a little bit more. Also, just in case, the main reason for D-Walker, besides me not using him despite throwing a bunch of GMP at him, is that I'm hoping to grab some extra emblems, and one of them, of course, is for using D-Walker. Also, just as a precautionary measure, I'm also using a pistol for this run, so I can also get the pistol, I'm sorry, the pistol emblem in case the D-Walker emblem doesn't work out. But yeah, all the way over here, away from the main mission area, is this prisoner, which is why we killed all those very innocent and, you know, dedicated Russians. And as an aside, I've also painted D-Walker. What's kind of disappointing is not only just this color for D-Walker, but the color for Mother Base and the helicopter. This is as pink as we can get. This like a pink salmon color, not like a hot pink. Which is disappointing because you can get hot pink as your weapon color. Oh well. Since the intercept mode isn't working out too well, we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna run headfirst into everyone while shooting them all up. It works out a whole lot better than the other way around. Some of the other different heads with D-Walker, the way I thought D-Walker worked was, like as you go down the list of heads, you got all those bonuses on top of the latest head you got equipped. But no, it's just like a one head deal. So the other heads that I could have equipped but didn't have on this time was the like a stealth head, which lets him, I guess, enter stealth mode when I'm not riding him, and a scout head, which kind of makes him like a ghetto D-Dog. I still never get fucking used to his you know, rolling around on his wheels. God damn it, D-Walker. I'm just gonna bail out and do it on foot. But yeah, D-Walker, he is, besides me just finding D-Dog and Quiet more useful overall, D-Walker's like a big detriment to using D-Walker, besides the cost of researching his new equipment, is the cost of using his new equipment. To use D-Walker as he's equipped now with just those two pistols and the default LMG, it ran me like 20 grand, I think, as well as this head. Or no, wait, I think the heads are free. But yeah, 20 grand to use D-Walker as he is. Also, my god, that would have been nice if I could have made that shot. So you may have noticed we also got a mission complete just now. That is from clearing out Spook May Keep. And now the hard part of this mission. We actually have to come in here to find a film canister. And it's kind of hard to figure out where it is. So I kind of hoped I could probably interrogate this guy, but yeah, that ain't happening. Also, I can't seem to stomp a man slightly above me. But yeah, I was kind of hoping getting us some information on where the thing is. You'll see that pixelated picture on the bottom right. That's supposed to be your hints. But the thing is that there's 3 possible spots.
The VI data. Now the target's hiding place should be clear as day. Check your iDroid.
There are 3 possible spots that the film canister can be. And yeah, it's a pixelated picture, and it gets unpixelated after a few minutes. The enemy soldiers, though, can find it, and if they find it, they shoot it, and you get a game over. But still, for some reason, I'm just really bad at this kind of guessing thing. I only managed to find the canister this time because I walked by it.
Your objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
If I didn't see that little yellow box appear, I would have been fucking stuck there for forever.
Alright, you're out of the hot zone. No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete.
Damn, D-Walker ain't looking so hot.
Mission complete. Great work.
So yeah, we get Ostrich for using D-Walker to kill most of the enemies. Now, I'm not going to do the thing where I show off my... Oh, hey. More hamburger talk next video. But yeah, I'm not going to do the thing where I show off my S rank. Just pretend I came back and then did the mission as fast as possible to get my S rank. So for the other side missions, we have to find the film canisters before the Russian reinforcements arrive. You may have noticed like there was a 4-wheeler. There are 2 4-wheelers actually that show up. They're not here right now. They eventually come over, and when they arrive, we can't do the side mission anymore. But yeah, I also want to use the grenade launcher to get the grenade launcher emblem. Weird thing is that despite not having D-Walker with me in this mission and using the grenade launcher to kill everyone, including like this 4-wheeler full of enemies, I still got the Ostrich emblem instead of the one that you get for using the grenade launcher. Also, I don't think I've ever showed off what happens if one of your own vehicles gets destroyed. You lose it from your total back at Mother Base. And now we got one last side mission here, and that is we need to get a Raven. We need to extract a Raven. And something that didn't happen in the last run is when you set off an alert here, a helicopter arrives. I don't know if they don't arrive, if the Russian reinforcements show up. But yeah, that didn't happen last video, but it happened this one. Here we go, 5 out of 5.
Boss, I've updated the mission list. We've received a new job offer. The details are on your iDroid.
Oh hey, new missions. Are they actual missions or are they just rehashes? Oh, proxy war without end. So we're either gonna go to Syria, modern day Syria, or modern day Ukraine.
We finished decoding the informant's report. That floating kid we've run into a few times now. Looks like he was a test subject in clinical experiments. The Soviets called him the Third Boy. The Third Boy was brought to a lab on the outskirts of Moscow from Czechoslovakia, after which he was due to be sent to a research center in Leningrad, then Siberia, and finally an academic town in Novosibirsk. It doesn't appear that the researchers witnessed the talents we've seen from him, but nevertheless he was quite the popular subject. His latent cognitive abilities suddenly awoke en route to Moscow. According to the report, the Third Boy was easily influenced by other individuals' biofields. evil thoughts in particular. They affected his mind like a virus. Extreme anger or resentment, motives for revenge, in other words. Now, during the transport flight to Moscow, the boy was exposed to a powerful mental energy field coming from a certain individual. Ever since, being conscious of his powers, he's become a sort of energy generator. What's unique about him is the way his acute telepathic abilities get taken over by another person's will. The boy began to physically parasitize individuals experiencing extreme anger and codify the host's desires. This includes amplifying the host's natural strengths. Or, in accordance with the host's desires, he can also implant program code in another individual, making them a puppet, essentially. Human neural synapses transmit weak electrical currents between neurons. These electrical currents, though at a level difficult to observe, warp the magnetic field outside the body. The third boy is able to pick up these weak fluctuations. Contrary to psychotronics, which involves controlling the human mind, his abilities as a receptor are too high. The emotions he picks up from another individual are amplified and unleashed into his body as they recur in his brain. They turn into microwaves, which then affect the physical world, triggering paranormal phenomena like the spontaneous combustion of organic matter or psychokinesis, moving an object without touching it. There's one other thing. While he's parasitizing a host, the boy's ego gets shut away, allowing the will of the host to take control of his powers, like some annoying static drowning out your own voice. That means he isn't responsible for what's been happening. Somebody's extreme anger has manifested through the third boy's powers in ways none of us could have predicted, which would mean this was going on somewhere around us. Looking back on it, a lot of things make sense now. The man on fire, Sahelanthropus, they both came to life thanks to the third boy's powers. Everything has been happening through him as a catalyst. We first saw him in the hospital on Cyprus. The boy parasitizing the man on fire's desire for revenge gave him his new abilities in return. He next appeared at the Hamid Fighters Fort where the honeybee was hidden. There, the boy parasitized Skullface's vengeful mind. He controlled Sahelanthropus, making it do whatever Skullface wanted. Same goes for when we extracted Emmerich onto the chopper. When he appeared at the Devil's House in Central Africa, Skullface's will controlled the man on fire via the third boy's powers. Everything is clear up to this point. But even the informant couldn't pinpoint who the host was in the cave within Serac power plant. Sahelanthropus suddenly became active, then crushed not only the man on fire, but Skullface as well. Surely neither of them could have been the host. Who else was at that location and bore anger more extreme than either of them? Whose will was controlling Sahelanthropus? According to the report, emotions transmitted in children's brains affect the surrounding magnetic field more strongly. Cerebral nerves are covered with insulation called myelin sheaths to increase impulse speed. The reason for this leakage has to do with the fact that children's myelin sheaths are still developing. So, how many children do you remember being there? Children with a burning desire for revenge and bearing a grudge against you. I can think of only one. Eli. We don't know what kind of life he's had, but the resentment he's shown toward adults is nothing short of extraordinary. The third boy resonated with Eli's mind. And that means Eli bore the strongest animosity of all individuals within the boy's reception range, estimated to be a 3-mile radius, beating out even Volgan and Skullface. The third boy has probably remained hooked on Eli's anger since. You remember at the Devil's House, the third boy showed an interest in Shabani? That must have been his ego making a rare appearance. He may possess abilities far beyond anyone else in the world, but he's still a kid. Maybe them both being kids was enough to bring them together. And if so, maybe with Eli, he isn't feeding off him, but acting in symbiosis with him. So what kick-started the third boy's powers? If we look at the location and time that his plane went down, we can make a pretty good guess. When the plane experienced the first anomaly, it gave an accurate report of its position to a control tower, due north of the Black Sea, 125 miles east of Kiev. Dead south on the Black Sea is Cyprus's Green Line, so the plane's position was directly north of the hospital where you'd been asleep for 9 years. And this anomaly was reported at exactly the same time that you woke up. The plane was enveloped in flame from the inside out. The fuselage burnt to ashes. There were no survivors, at least not publicly admitted. Your thoughts formed a synchronicity with the boy's psyche and were amplified inside his brain. That would have been more than enough to trigger his abilities. Your rage was like a big bang in his head, blowing the lid off his powers. The boy was then secretly moved to the lab outside of Moscow where Volgin was comatose. There, Volgin's thoughts resonated with the boy and he was awakened. Volgin became the man on fire, hell-bent on getting revenge on you. His instincts led him straight to you. Skullface knew Volgin from Operation Snake Eater, or perhaps from even before. Monitoring this pair of extraordinaries, he discovered the hospital and sent his assassin and XOF. Skullface was probably watching the situation from close by. Then, realizing how useful these two test subjects could be, he approached them. Reacting to Skullface's thirst for revenge, this time the boy let Skullface's will control Volgin. Volgin, at times driven by personal revenge, at times through Skullface's will, kept on moving, though his body was little more than dead meat. Perhaps there were moments where even your thoughts affected him as well. But without the boy's power, it was like the plug had been pulled from the socket. Everything was powered by anger, malice, revenge. This is how the end of the report sums things up. Both the third boy and the man on fire were originally test subjects of paranormal research for military applications, like telekinetically controlling the leader of an enemy nation and making him launch a nuke, or stopping the heart of someone on the wrong side of the Berlin Wall, experimenting with latent human abilities. They were used as tools of the Cold War. The boy's only crime was being born with unique gifts. But he was sacrificed on the altar of war. His life reduced to slavery under other people's wills. Turned into a living weapon with no will of his own. And eventually the only emotion he could feel must have been the desire to get revenge for the hand he'd been dealt. Boss, it's you that awakened the boy's powers. But there's more to it than that. I guess the anger emanating from you was something he could truly relate to.
Fucking Eli is the source of every problem we're having on Mother Base. Anyways, let's head on back home. Another successful mission done, you know.
Nice work today, boss.
By thank you, Pequod. You know, a man works up a real, real sweat while strutting around the deserts of Afghanistan.
Successful mission.
It's probably the bandana. I mean, can you imagine how sweaty that bandana
Safe,
gets?
boss.
Oh boy, man. Ocelot, do we have to go through this every time?
You stink.
That is the exact face I'm making right now.
Welcome home, boss.
Well, I think I need a shower IRL. A cold one. Also, which one of you fuckers said she is a naughty girl? God damn it. Who even invited you all? Only one, here's the price of admission, you fuck. Let's see how you enjoyed your shower after waking up next to 2 other men. And then we'll see who's the real naughty girl here. So, I guess I'll call you for dinner later.
Great to see you safe, boss. Snake, you stink.
That is also the face I'm making right now. She is a naughty girl indeed, guys. Good night, everybody.